Alright, so today what I'll be doing is I'll be replacing I think it's called the output axle seal on my 2009 Camry. In case you need to know the part number, that's the part number right here, 710112. This is for the E351 transmission. And in case you don't know which transmission you got in your car, you know, assuming everything is original, all you gotta do is look right here. And yeah, my transmission is the E351 transmission. All you gotta look is over here where it says ATM, and this should be the transmission you have in your car. So when you go get that part, you know, just make sure you have the right transmission number. Alright, so as you know, we gotta take off the tire, we gotta take off the axle nut, which I believe is a size 30 or 32. Let me see. It's yeah, it's a 32. 30. Oh no, it's a 30 millimeter, but it's not the 6 point, it's a 12 point. And I just like to use the proper socket for what we're gonna do. So this is a 12 point 30 millimeter socket. So I'm just gonna hit that with the impact, take the tire off, and then I'll fast forward to that. Okay, so once you have the tire off and the axle nut loose, some people like to take those bolts off from the suspension. I'm not one of those people. I usually take off I usually go for these 3 bolts down here. So I'm gonna take these 3 bolts off real quick. Then we're gonna hit the axle real quick, loosen it up from the hub. And then we'll remove the axle. Oh shit, wait. Before I remove the axle, we're gonna let out some of the transmission fluid, because you know, it's gonna be a mess if I just pull out the axle. Where's the bolt? Yeah, somewhere around here. Oh, there it is. There's the drain bolt, and there's the filler up bolt right there. Yeah, that's the filler up bolt, and this is the drain bolt. So we're gonna drain some of it, that way we don't make too big of a mess when I take the axle out, because you know, it's like I said, it's been dripping. Okay, so now that we got these 3 bolts off, gotta take these screws, well, these nuts off. Gotta take these 2 screws out of here and pry this apart right here. Pry this apart. See it? In the hand? Okay. Yeah, right there. Okay, so right now we're gonna take these 2 bolts out. Just gonna maybe not. Okay, that's that. So this is loose. Okay, so we got that out the way. Now let's drain some of that transmission fluid. That's what we got the nuts out the way right here. You can see that. So you get the bolts out of here. All you gotta do is pry this out and get the nuts out of there. So now we're gonna drain some transmission fluid before we attempt to take out the axle. Okay, so I'm under the car and where is it? I'm gonna loosen this bolt to let out the transmission fluid. Later on, we're gonna fill it back up through this bolt, and then now no, it's in. You know what? I probably should have did this when I started, but I didn't. In case you didn't know, transmission oil smells very bad. Let me get my other glove on, because this is going to be a little messy. There we go. Alright, so now once you drain out what you're going to drain out, just tighten the bolt back up. Now I was just about to get the axle out, but I forgot that we also have to get rid of this, the tie rod end. Now we have to take this pin out, get that pin out, that cotter pin, and get that bolt off. And then if you have a special tool to get this out, go ahead. I'm just gonna pry and hammer it out, and then we'll get to the axle. There we go. Cotter pin is out, and if I'm correct, there should be 17, and I am. Alright, so let's get that out off of there. I swear to God, having an impact wrench makes everything so much easier. Where's my hammer? Ah. Damn it. Okay. Don't wanna. Thank you. Put on the seat. I don't want no ants getting into it. Right, so once you got the tie rod out, I'm gonna put this bolt back on so I don't lose it later. I'm gonna put the cotter pin somewhere safe where I won't lose it. Oh, right there. Oh. On this magnetic plate, make sure I don't lose it. So this is off. It's off on the bottom. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I won't even have to bang the axle out. Or maybe I will. Yes, I will. Oh, no, maybe it won't. Yay. Look at that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So this is out. So this is out. I got my ghetto drain pan. Now what I gotta do is pry out the axle, which shouldn't be too hard. There we go. All right. Check it out. Check it out. No mess. The way. Okay, so now that we took the axle out, alright, we gotta get in here and remove this seal. Now, let me see if I can maybe finagle. Alright, so that's somewhat of the best I can do for now while I clean this up real quick. Clean this up before I put in the new axle. I mean, I don't understand why it's leaking. Doesn't look bad, but I'm not a mechanic. Okay, so it got a little dark on me because I was busy lollygagging doing other shit. But okay, so oh yeah, back to this. I was trying to pry it out with a bar. Where are they? I was trying to pry it out with this, and all it did was start tearing up the seal. And then I was talking about it with my friend, and he said just to grab it with a pair of pliers and pull on it. So trying to get a good angle. Hopefully I'm not fucking something up. I mean, I see it moving. Damn, is this pressed in or something? You know what? Maybe I need bigger pliers. Alright, so got some bigger ones. See if they'll fit in here though. Barely fit in here. Ah, there we go. Ah, would you look at that? That's all it took. Alright, so now we know. Just pull that shit out. Make sure we didn't burr anything up. So let me just clean that up and get the new one in there. Okay, so now that we got the old seal out, I'm gonna put the new seal in. Now this concerns me a bit that it's a little thicker on than the old one, but I mean, as long as the front sits flush with the tranny, I'm not gonna worry about it. So what I did was I put a little bit of gear oil on the side so they could just slide in. So let's see how much trouble this will give me putting it back in. Let me try to put this at an angle where we could see most of this. Okay, I guess I'll have to hold it. All right. Okay, so, you know, I figured it wasn't gonna just slide in easy peasy, and I don't have a special tool to bang it in, so I'm gonna use my extensions and just tap here, tap, you know, just tap around until it seats on the tranny, till it stays flush with this out here. All right. Okay, so this is something I had to do off camera because I just did. But you'll be able to get the seal in. So you have to get the edge flush with the wall right here, and I managed to do that by banging it in with this extension, just tapping it lightly, you know, going around, hitting the other end with the hammer until it was flush, this right here. So now that I got the seal in, now I'm just gonna put everything else back together. Just gonna throw the axle back on, the tie rod, lower control arm, and the tire. Yeah, that's about it. So I'm gonna do that, and we'll see if it leaks or not. Hopefully it won't. Okay, so I got the axle back in. Just make sure that when you put it in, that it's in all the way. Like, you know, just really don't know how to explain it. Just make sure that that the axle's in all the way. Make sure you hear that click when you push it in, and make sure there's, like, I guess I'm just gonna say just enough space for a pry bar to get in there. Yeah. So I'll put the hub back on. I'm not gonna put the axle nut on just yet. First, I'm gonna put on the lower control arm. Lower control arm first. Those 3 bolts. Then the tie rod end, and then the axle nut. Okay, so seal is done. Axle's back in. Lower control arm is back on. Tie rod is back on. I got the axle nut back on. So I'm just gonna put the tire back on and start filling it up with fluid. Hopefully it won't leak. Okay, so now that we got the tire back on, you know, got the axle, the seal, everything's back on. Now we gotta fill the transmission back up with transmission fluid. Being as this is a manual transmission Camry, we need to use gear oil. 75/90. I went with Fram because this is what they had. I would normally go with Mobil 1, but they didn't have it, so we're gonna go with Fram. And in case you didn't know, for those that don't know, you need a pump. Now this is the pump that I have for pumping transmission fluid. Basically what it is, the top hose goes into the bottle. The bottom hose goes down into the transmission, and you'll see that when I get down there. And then it gets pumped. This gets pumped until basically the transmission overflows. That's how I do it. So yeah, let's watch. Okay, so I got the bolt loose. I'm gonna take this off. Let's see. Oh, it just says, let's see, read owner's manual before refilling. Alright, so we know what we're refilling it with. So like I said, we're gonna take the end of this hose and we're gonna fill up the transmission. Now my lovely assistant's gonna start pumping from the top, because I have to be down here to see if it starts overflowing. So you can start pumping, baby.
Okay, let me just open it.
At first, just pump it slow, so because I gotta get the gold stuff out.
Okay.
Alright, good, stop. Hold on. Alright, so once we got that out, I'm gonna put it. Where is it? Okay. Now stick it in here. Alright, now just pump it. Okay, stop. That's it. We're done here. Yeah. Oh, fuck no. Okay. We're good though. Alright, so That's how we know we're full. It starts leaking. So just seal this back up. Seal this back up. I'll tighten that back up, and we're done. That's the whole process. Now hopefully the actual seal doesn't leak. I'll take it for a drive, and hopefully it's a success.